Ever wish you could just like download musical fluency straight into your brain? Okay, maybe not Matrix style, but what if we told you there's a system that approaches music learning like cracking a code?
Yeah.
Today, we're diving deep into the world of Brazilian musician and educator Jack Lima
Right.
to explore his revolutionary take on musical education.
It's really fascinating stuff.
So we're dissecting a collection of articles and insights into his work,
Yeah, we've got some articles,
including
groundbreaking software.
and get this,
Okay.
2 RankBrasil records.
2?
Yeah. These are basically like the Brazilian equivalent of Guinness World Records, so we're talking about a pretty big deal.
That's right, 2 records.
Yeah.
But before we get to the accolades, let's unpack the core of Lima's method.
The Escola de Língua Musical Sistema Musical Definitivo, or SMD for short.
Catchy, right?
Well, I was going to say, it's quite a mouthful,
Yeah.
but it reflects a fundamental shift in how we think about music education.
Exactly.
So instead of viewing music as this, nebulous art form,
Right.
Lima breaks it down into its fundamental elements,
Yeah, like dissecting it.
treating it as a language with its own set of rules and structures.
Think like grammar and syntax and spoken languages.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But how does that actually translate to learning music?
Okay, so think of it this way. Just like learning the rules of grammar helps you construct meaningful sentences, right?
Right.
Understanding the grammar of music, the chords, progressions, and melodic structures allows you to create and understand music on a deeper level.
So instead of just mimicking what we hear, we learn to decode the underlying structure, the musical DNA, so to speak.
Precisely. And this is where Lima's software, also called SMD, Jack Lima, comes in.
Okay.
He uses this brilliant analogy. He compares it to an X-ray machine.
Oh, interesting.
Just like an X-ray helps a doctor diagnose a medical condition, his software diagnoses a student's musical strengths and weaknesses.
So it's like a personalized musical assessment tool that identifies areas for improvement.
Exactly.
That's incredibly cool and efficient. No more fumbling around in the dark wondering where you're going wrong.
Yeah, you get a clear roadmap.
You get a clear roadmap of your musical journey.
And just like a good roadmap, Lima's software guides students through a structured learning process.
I like it. I like it.
It's organized into 8 distinct stages.
Wow, 8.
Each building upon the previous one and culminating in online certification.
Talk about gamifying learning. I bet that keeps students engaged and motivated.
Absolutely. It taps into that innate desire for progress and achievement.
For sure.
But it's not all about digital bells and whistles.
Right.
Lima understands that learning music is about more than just technical proficiency. It's about fostering a love and appreciation for the art form itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why he's incorporated several key elements into his system, including in-person lessons, online support via Skype, and even a dedicated online community for students.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. It's like he's created this whole ecosystem for musical growth, a place where students can connect, collaborate, and support each other on their learning journeys.
Exactly. It's about building a community around this shared passion for music.
It's so important.
It is.
Yeah.
But to truly appreciate the impact of Lima's work, we need to delve a little deeper into his background.
Okay.
What's fascinating is that his journey into music education wasn't a linear path.
Oh, I love where this is going.
He wasn't just a teacher with a good idea.
Tell me more.
Jack Lima is actually a multi-instrumentalist,
Wow.
a composer,
Okay.
and even a columnist.
Get out.
Yeah, it's this diverse background that likely gave him the unique perspective to see the gaps in traditional music education and come up with a completely new approach.
It's amazing how those seemingly unrelated experiences can converge into something so innovative.
It is.
It speaks to the power of drawing inspiration from different fields and challenging conventional thinking.
Absolutely. And speaking of challenging conventions,
Okay.
Lima's revolutionary approach didn't go unnoticed.
Oh, no.
He actually holds 2 RankBrasil records. Remember, those are like the Brazilian Guinness World Records, which is a testament to the impact he's had on the world of music education.
2 records. Okay, now I'm even more intrigued.
Right.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so his first record, awarded in 2014, was for Primeiro Software para a Prática da Língua Musical, which translates to first software for the practice of musical language.
So not just the first music software in Brazil, but the first software anywhere to approach music learning as a language.
The first one, yeah.
That's huge.
Huge, yeah. It put him and his method on the map, showcasing the potential of this groundbreaking approach to music education.
Wow.
But he didn't stop there.
Of course not. He's got 2 records.
In 2013, okay. He earned his second RankBrasil record for his Dicionário de Ritmo, or Rhythm Dictionary.
Okay.
This work, as the name suggests, is a comprehensive collection of musical rhythms.
Okay.
Almost like a deconstruction of rhythm itself.
Wow, so it's like he created a musical encyclopedia,
Yep.
but specifically focused on rhythm.
Rhythm, that's it.
That sounds incredibly valuable for any musician, regardless of their instrument or skill level.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is how both of these records, the software and the rhythm dictionary, tie back to his core philosophy of treating music as a language.
Right.
The software helps you understand the grammar of music,
Yeah.
while the rhythm dictionary delves into the nuances of rhythmic vocabulary.
Okay.
It's a two-pronged approach to achieving musical fluency.
And let's not forget that vivid analogy he used, comparing his software to an X-ray.
Oh, right.
It's not just a catchy phrase.
No,
It reveals a deep understanding of how people learn.
it does.
We're used to having our progress assessed in other areas of life, like health or education.
Sure.
Lima brings that same level of clarity and feedback to music learning.
Exactly. He's quoted as saying, "The program is like an X-ray because it shows how the student is doing and where they can go."
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It removes the guesswork and allows students to focus on their individual learning journey rather than feeling lost or unsure of their progress.
It creates a personalized learning experience, tailored to each student's strengths and weaknesses.
And remember how we talked about his system being structured like a game with different levels?
Yeah.
He actually describes this progression, saying, when you finish the stages, you go to the next level. Practice of acquired knowledge.
Oh.
Perception is the last module.
Right.
After completing the course, you will know how to understand and carry out any production in music.
Wow.
This works like a filter for all instruments.
So it's not just about learning a specific instrument or genre. It's about developing a deep understanding of the fundamental principles of music that can be applied across the board.
It is, yeah.
It's like unlocking a whole new level of musical literacy.
And speaking of unlocking potential, Lima has said, the student's reception is better when a machine points out their mistakes and successes than someone telling them whether or not they're capable.
It's fascinating how technology can sometimes provide a more objective and less intimidating form of feedback. It removes the potential for personal bias or judgment, allowing students to learn and grow at their own pace.
Yeah, and this is where the brilliance of his holistic approach really shines.
Okay.
He doesn't just leave students to their own devices with the software. He's built a whole support system around it.
Right. We touched upon the in-person lessons and Skype support,
Right.
but the online community aspect is really interesting.
It is.
Tell me more about that. It's like having a built-in study group, but for music.
Exactly. Lima actually talks about this, saying, in addition to the program, a website aimed at students encourages the sharing of information among them in conjunction with social media recording the students' progress.
So it's not just about the software itself,
Right.
but the entire ecosystem he's built around it. That's really impressive.
It speaks to his understanding that learning is a social process.
Yeah.
We learn from each other. We share our struggles and triumphs, and that sense of community can be incredibly motivating.
Absolutely. Think about how much easier it is to stay committed to a goal when you've got others cheering you on and sharing the journey.
Yeah.
It's like that quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Precisely. And Lima's dedication to this vision is truly remarkable. Remember, he first started working on this back in 2003.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he even taught himself programming to build the software from the ground up.
Talk about passion and commitment. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a matter of identifying a need,
Yeah.
but actually taking the initiative to create a solution.
Right.
And not just any solution, but one that's earned him 2 RankBrasil records.
And it's not just the awards themselves, but what they represent.
Right.
These accolades speak to a fundamental shift in how we approach music education. It's about moving away from rote memorization and rigid techniques towards a deeper understanding of the underlying language of music.
Yeah, it's like the difference between learning to read a language phonetically versus truly understanding its grammar and syntax.
Exactly.
One allows you to get by while the other opens up a world of expressive possibilities.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of Lima's approach. He's not just teaching people how to play notes, he's empowering them to express themselves fluently through the language of music.
It makes you wonder if we could apply this language-based approach to other areas of learning as well. What if we could decode the grammar of coding or the syntax of design? Could that unlock new levels of creativity and innovation?
It's a fascinating question, and one that speaks to the power of challenging conventional thinking. Lima's work is a testament to the fact that sometimes the most profound innovations come from looking at familiar problems through a completely new lens.
And that, my friends, is what the deep dive is all about, exploring those unconventional ideas and uncovering those hidden gems of knowledge. We've journeyed from the technical intricacies of music software to the profound implications of treating music as a language, and along the way, we've encountered a remarkable individual who's not only pushing the boundaries of music education, but also inspiring us to think differently about learning itself.
So the next time you listen to a piece of music, we encourage you to listen not just with your ears, but with your mind. Try to decipher the musical sentences, the phrases, the underlying structure. You might be surprised by what you discover.
And who knows? Maybe you'll even be inspired to embark on your own deep dive into the world of music or any other field that sparks your curiosity. Until next time, keep those minds engaged and those ears tuned for knowledge.